Hey guys, Dylan from Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to Doctor Who Season 2, Episode 3, titled The Well. Far in the future, on a devastated mining colony, the Doctor and Belinda face absolute terror. Now, this is the episode that the showrunners said that it would be best for you to go into blind. Now, the problem with that is this has been the one episode that I've had spoiled for me. Because I took last week off, the majority of it, from recording, because of I just was not feeling it with the medication and all that. I gave time for things to catch up on my social media feed. I only saw one thing related to Doctor Who in the entire week, and it just happened to tell me what the returning villain is in this. Because if you remember, I said at the end of the last episode that this is a Doctor Who villain that we've seen before, and the Doctor apparently was terrified the last time he encountered them. And, well, I listed off a couple ones it could be, like the Flood, the Beast in the Pit, and Midnight. And yeah, I saw one thing, and it told me which of those three that it was. Really not happy with that. I didn't get spoiled for Lux, even though I recorded that late. I didn't get spoiled for the first episode, even though I recorded that late. Well, technically I always recorded a day late, but oh well, what are you gonna do? This happens when you decide to take a break from things. But yeah, we'll get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go. Don't know why it took so long to start, but it did. Should probably check to see if this has subtitles on. Yes, good. Guess the triangulation didn't work. I mean, that is a fair conclusion. I mean, technically everything's happening, but well, I mean, I can't really tell you because all of time is happening at once. I can be in the future and the past, destroy the past, yet I'm still in the future. Okay, maybe not quite. That's not closer. We're gonna get an outfit swap each episode. Really looking like Mundy there. And they just have. Hmm. So it seems like it's got a smart wardrobe. Well, that's a little chaotic landing. It would make sense for, in the same way, the chameleon circuit and the auto translator and the perception filter for it to have a smart wardrobe, but otherwise they just happened to pick the correct space outfit for the group they landed with. Hmm. So they're not descending through water like a lot of people thought. Hmm. Well, the ground's not red, so they're definitely not on Mars. You had no you had no extraction plan? Good. You know your stuff. To find something that's living on it, or to mine something off of it. It's been ages since I watched it, but she's sort of reminding me of the one that was supposed to die in Waters of Mars that Time Lord Victorious saved. Just that detached leader. Well, your presence has sort of doomed number 10. except for your spacesuits. Hmm. Or something's broken it for him. Hmm. It is always an issue when there's no clear sign of a pattern of deaths. Hmm. Hmm. Leave. Inside that room means it's been closed, so they could be shut in there for a reason. The doctor knows sign languages. Hmm. Honestly, that is some good technology to have. Interesting. Hmm. And what happened to the other group? Hmm. Maybe not. I'll elaborate what my train of thought is at the end because I don't know why I'm doing that. Because if you're watching this, you should have already seen the episode. But if you are watching first time with me, then I'm going to leave the spoilers for the end. He's going down the shaft, isn't he? She seems endeared to him a little. Interesting. So Earth and the human race aren't existent in this version of. Hmm. There was definitely something behind her. You know, this doesn't have the same MO. Except. Hmm. Some. So too. You've got multiple people stand at cardinal points, so no matter where. Like, Diamond. Hmm, I sort of gave it away there. What? Does this planet have another name? This is what I saw. This is why I said it has a different MO. Because what can a mimic do if it can't hear? There's nothing blocking it. $400,000 years ago. So I'm guessing this is a different entity because it's not mimicking. It's not latching on to. Fucking hell. Um, 1 second. So, that that's not happened before. Question: now that she's turned around, is Midnight not behind her? Stop moving. Great job, mate. That's fair. That was fair. That was probably the only way to stop him from taking out the rest of the group. No, it's not. Hmm. How does it? Is it because of the attachment it had to him earlier, or there is only a select few things in the universe that know the Doctor's name? Reflections. It destroyed the mirrors. Mercury is highly reflective. I'm guessing you didn't like what you saw. Why do I feel it's going to attach itself to one of them? But on who? Belinda knows it's her. She can hear it. And how exactly are you going to do that if she can't really get to? Hmm. I don't know what happened there. My computer had a stutter, so I think I got it back to the right spot. She's jumping back down the pit. Land on your back so that you land on it, I guess. I don't really think that's going to work, but the second person who has had to sacrifice themselves to save the doctor from this creature. I don't know. You want to know what I just realized? We have not seen Mrs. Flood this episode yet. Hmm. Well, I'm, hmm. That's fair. It got out. She knows what that means. Oh, God. Okay, well, I guess either they're all going to die, or she's going to. I mean, they sort of have to take out the whole ship. Like, you can't. She tried to take it on herself and then killed herself, and it didn't work. Unless there were multiple. Because he did say the thing behind Alice and the thing behind it, implying that there were two. So, if the thing behind Alice latched onto Belinda and then latched onto oh, what's her name? I did not think to remember her name. Let's get to the cast list, I guess, if I can. Was this Doctor Who Orwell? Um, yeah, it latched onto her, and she jumped. What about the thing behind it? Is what I was trying to say. Because, well, he implied that there were two. Shire. I thought the name sounded Irish. I've got no idea how to actually pronounce it. Um, yeah, I'm not even going to attempt. It's bad enough coming across like a Scottish name that's spelt traditionally. I've got no chance at Irish, despite that being my heritage. But that was centuries back, so can't really lay claim to it. But I will say, um, the first the first time we saw the Midnight Entity was a lot scarier because the episode Midnight. Oh boy, that was a freaky episode. The mimicking, then the matching, then the predicting that the entity was doing, just making them all turn on each other because none of them could be sure which one was um infected once it started crossing that barrier, and then it took one of them believing in the doctor and sacrificing themselves to take out the entity. And then, well, this must have been a different one because that one was on the planet's surface. It was implied to have been destroyed, but considering it came from the surface to begin with, it probably wasn't. And then, well, this one came from the pit below the earth. So, yeah. How did it get out of the pit? That's the question. Like, was it on one of those fans of carbon that was extracted? Don't know. It was completely different. I thought because I saw the clip where she says it was called Midnight. That was the only thing I saw about this episode, and it just happened to be the biggest spoiler as to what they were facing. When I realized that Alice was deaf, you can't exactly mimic a person or what they're saying if you can't hear what they're saying. Yes, she could read lips, she could read the sign language, but the creature, it's the entity, probably can't. So I thought that was why she survived. But this was completely different. This was a yeah, I don't know. Because like there were no similarities between the two entities except for the fact that they were invisible, they latched onto people, and they caused a lot of death. Like, hmm. I do wonder if the implication is that it is the same entity because of that connection it had with the doctor, and that's how it would know his name? Like, or was it the fact that hearing the whispering, was it linking with his mind? So, excuse me. So that's how it knows his name. Like, there are very few things that know the doctor's name. Hmm. I honestly didn't know that we were getting a Mrs. Flood this episode. I just assumed that because she was in episode 1 and she was somehow in the past of episode 2, that she was going to be the Susan Triad of this season. And then I'm like, hey, we're right at the end. We haven't seen her. No, she was on the other side of the video call. And she knows about the Vindicator. Now, is that because she. No, because she wasn't present in the past at the time that they arrived to have seen him do the first Vindicator. Also, he only ever said the name of it on the ship. Like, she would have to have access either to the ship records where she overheard him say Vindicator. At least I think he said it on the ship. Otherwise, he would have only said it on the TARDIS. So, hmm. And there's also the fact that it's called a vortex indicator, and he calls it a vindicator. And she's suddenly like a vindicator in action, like, hmm. But for the Earth to have been wiped out in 2025, and the Doctor can't make it back. There we go. The Doctor can't make it back. Like, he can't even make it to the space where Earth used to be. Like, as he said, he kept bouncing off halfway between the place of the robot of Ms. Belinda Chandra and Earth. He kept bouncing halfway. So that shot of all the Earth landmarks just floating in space was for the viewers to know that something happened to Earth. You could not see that. Like, you saw out the door of the TARDIS and you couldn't see anything. So all of that was for the viewer. But yeah, I'm very interested because, as I've said multiple times, we even got this as late as the Devil's Court, where Ruby's like, "What do you mean the Earth was destroyed in the past? I come from 2024, and the Earth is still there." And then they go back to 2024, and the Earth is destroyed, despite her having come from there. That's what I've been parroting with the fact that you can be in the future and the Earth is fine. but it can also be simultaneously being destroyed in the past. However, if you were to then go into the future from the destroyed past, the Earth would not exist. It really does get into whole timey-wimey shenanigans. Like, it's really branching timelines. Like, think Back to the Future, I guess, would be the best way. Because, like, the original Earth exists, but because of a change, they go to a different future. And then different change in the past creates a different future entirely. So, because they went, because Ruby and the Doctor went to the past from 2024, the Earth got destroyed. Going back to 2024 creates a new 2024, whereas this one is starting in 2025, the Earth getting destroyed, going to a future where the Earth is destroyed, is just the same timeline. There's no back and new. I'd like to bring up a diagram to describe it, but I don't have time to do that. I honestly don't know if I have time to get this out with the fact that I have to edit it. But anyway, there was a that was a freaky episode. It definitely wasn't the same as Midnight, but it was it was an intense episode. But with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.